day, grade 11 learners. Welcome to today's mathematics lesson. My name is Mr. Mlefe AJ. This lesson is brought to you by Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Saibono Discovery Center and broadcast by Pagama Research and Development. Today we'll proceed with our lessons. Let us proceed with last week's lessons. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to use the compound growth formula. Now let's talk about compound growth formula for a little bit long. Do you see there's a positive there on the compound? So this positive here in sentence, it tells us that it's an increase. And then we learned previous year that this one is accumulative, which is represented by A. And then P is our principal amount. So the principal means the original amount. That's what you requested. There were so many questions based on the P. And then I stand for almost the interest rate. But usually our I is equivalent to 100 minus it's R over 100. And then this sentence N stands for number of terms. I will say that. There is a solution for that. But please, it means growth. Growth plus or increase. And then interest, we learned about the interest rate, the difference between the interest rate and the interest last week. And then we said the interest is the amount of money you have accumulated. And then interest rate, it includes the percentages. And then we spoke about high purchases. And then the inflation. That's what we have discovered, and the population growth and in the real life situation. And then we also spoke about understanding the implication of fluctuation foreign exchange rate, e.g. on petrol, input, export, and overseas travels. Now, ladies and gents, when you speak about, good learners, when you speak about foreign exchange, what should stick in your mind is only one thing. It's either you multiply or you divide. You always use those two mathematical symbols. It's either you multiply or you divide everywhere you go. Don't use addition or subtraction. When you speak of foreign exchange, please, what should stick in your mind is that. That's how I will simplify that. And the next one. Then when you use simpler and compound decay formula, then you see now, because we speak of decay or subtraction or depreciation, there is a negative sign there. There is a negative sign. It will tell you that there is a negative sign. A remain the same. P remain the same. The difference is the formula. So we used simpler and compound decay formula. So this one, it will be simpler. This one, it represents by simpler. And then the other one is compound. This one, it will be a simpler. And this one will be a compound. Ladies and gents, when you look at these two formula, they're almost, the variables are the same. The variables, they don't change. I remain I. And then N stand for N. Don't say because you are using simpler interest, then the N changes. No, the N remains the same. And you can see you've got A, which you learn that is accumulative. And then you also, do you see the difference now? Here we've got negative, also here we've got plus. When you speak about plus, what should stick in your mind? It's increase, or you plus, you increase, etc. And then let us go to the next one. To solve problem including straight line, depreciation and depreciation on reducing balance. Let me erase the first one there so that you can be able to be with me. Okay. Here's my eraser. I can use this one. I can erase it. Thank you. So that you can be able to see clearly now. Now you can see clearly now. To solve problems including straight line depreciation and depreciation on a reducing balance. Okay, we refer to Grade 10 CAPS document is page 26. And then grade 10 examination guidelines 2015 page 6. And then we've got terminologies. Depreciation loss of value. The way it's lost, it will tell you it's minus, subtract, or depreciate. And then we've got per annum. That is why I said number of terms. Sometimes they will tell you it's monthly, or when it's monthly, you must know the difference between I and N. And then we've got book value, the value of an item after being used for some time. Now, scrap value, the value of an item after has reached its lifespan. I like that. We've got the book value, etc. And then let us go to the next one. Now, in compound interest, interest is calculated on the original investment as well as on interest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still revising the previous work here. Interest and now let us consider an amount of 5,000 invested at 10% per annum, compounded annual. This one is straightforward. It's compounded annually, and think, how about you give me some more? You formulate your data. Let us formulate our data there. Let us identify what is 5,000. We need to able to identify what is 10%. 10% stands for. So now, for number of terms, I just said compounded annually. It means per annum, etc. So firstly, you need to able to read your statement, able to formulate your data. When you formulate your data, it means it's when you say what is your 5,000, it represents what? The principal amount, which means you can write your P, it's equivalent to how much? 5,000 rand. And then what is your I? It will be, is 10%, which is equivalent to 10 over 100. It's 10 over 100, which implies to 0.1. Now, they say per annum compounded what? Annually. Now it's compounded. So you need to understand that one. And then that's what you need to do before you solve the problem. Then you need to identify the correct formula for the correct solution. Let's go. 5,000 invested at 10% per annum, compounded annually. Here we go again. First year. This one will help also those who are doing mathematical literacy, because you don't use formula. You only use these terms. So it will be 5,000 plus 10% multiplied by 5,000, which is equivalent to 5,500. Obviously, if you do mathematical literacy, you know, of course, the 10% of 5,000 rand will be 500. You just move slightly once here. It will be 500, then you add by 500. Then let us check the next one. Second year, it will be 6,050. So this one, remember, it's compounded, né? It's compounded. But let me remind you again, as I said, it's a revision. If it's simpler, so the interest is how much? Our final amount is how much? Is 500 rand. It means it will increase by 500. If it's simpler, it will increase by 500. It will be 5,500. 5,500 plus 500, it will be how much? 6,000. 6,000 plus 500, etc. But this one is compounded. So do you see how do we calculate? We calculate on this interest. So it's not a straight line. That's a two different way. Let us check the compounded interest or growth. Growth, it means increase. Third year, there it goes, 6,655. Fourth year, here it goes, 7,000, etc. And then until the fifth year, which will give us 8,052,55. And note, remember, we always write money into two decimal places. We always write money into two decimal places. Ladies and gents, let's proceed. This is our linear graph. As shown, previous year, 0, it represents 5,000. And then 1 year, it will be how much? 5,500. Second year, it will be that. And then when you join the line, it will give you a straight line. That's what you did last week. I think this week, Monday. And then let us proceed. Yes, and then the next one is 5,550. 605. Can you see what I've identified there? That's the interest. The next one, which was the last one, on the 5th year to be 732 rand and 5 cents. So here, the difference is in compound. Do you see our interest? It differ. It grows, differ. It's not constant. But in simpler interest, our interest is constant. It means it doesn't change. But this one is compound interest. Please, it always grows. That's the difference between compound interest and simpler interest. Let's proceed. I think now we'll have a 1 minute break so that you can go through this solution. Only 1 minute break. And then please prepare your pen, your calculator. Now we're going to work now. Please, you're going to work, and we'll also appreciate your solutions. We'll go through your solutions after that. Don't forget to WhatsApp your solutions and your input on 064 748 8913. Let me repeat, please. 064 748 8913. That's our WhatsApp number. You can just WhatsApp a solution or any input, etc. Remember, we'll appreciate your solution before we present them here on our studio. So we'll appreciate if you give us your solution through your WhatsApp so that we can just share the solutions.
Do you know that you are different? Do you know that your fingerprint is different? It's different from your peers, from the people that you are studying with. So do not compare yourself with your peers. Do not compare your results with what they're getting, because you are different. You have your own talents and skills, and also you have your own gifts. Embrace what you can do. Always put in the work to make sure that your results become better than what they were yesterday. But do not compare yourself, because when you compare yourself, you do not know what another person has, and they do not have what you have. So believe in yourself. You are different, and keep on putting the work.
Attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude is the quality of being thankful. It's the quality of giving thanks. Ubonga, ulebuha. It's to be grateful. You and I have so much to be grateful for. You and I have parents who make sacrifices day and night for us to be at school. You and I have people who believe in us when we don't believe in ourselves. who love us when we don't love ourselves, who invest in us day and time again. Whether it's a teacher, it's a principal, it's a driver, it's a guardian, we have so much to be grateful for. And so I challenge you, young person, be thankful, ubonge, lebuha, be grateful each and every single day of your life. Strive to display an attitude of gratitude.
Oh, welcome back, good learners. Let us proceed. Like I said, please prepare yourself a pen and a calculator, because we cannot do too much talking. In mathematics, we need to calculate. Now let us go back again through our compound interest formula, because some learners said on Monday that they just arrived late. Let us be with us. Now let us remind you, A stands for accumulated amount. It means the amount that has been accumulated. And then P stands for the principal amount, which means it's an original amount. Please, you need to know that. And then I stand for interest rate. For the weight rate, what should stick in your mind is percentages, ladies and gents. And then we've got N, stand for number of times interest is paid. I think you are all with us. So what is important now, we cannot able to ignore this positive sign. It means growth. It's an interest growth. It means plus, you add. Now let us go through that. You may be required to calculate. Yeah, that's what you asked me. Now listen, just the formula is given, so you need to able to identify the correct formula. On Monday, someone asked me about one. One is always like that. The formula is given us like that. So now you have to able to identify it and able to solve the problem. So you may be required to calculate. Now, thank you. You might be required to calculate P, I, or N. You are not always going to be asked to calculate the accumulated amount. And then you say, oh, I learned this one with stereo now. Why they are asking me to calculate an interest rate now? Okay, you might be asked to calculate that one. Now let us go through this example now, ladies and gents. Sam invested 50,000 for holiday with his family in 2 years' time. If the interest is at 9% per annum, now, thank you, compounded what? Annually. Usually the problem is there. How much will Sam have available to spend on his family holiday? Now, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to solve this problem. And please WhatsApp the name of your school. And then you WhatsApp the solution here. Firstly, before you WhatsApp the solution, please identify the variables. Tell me how much is P, how much is I, how much is N. And remember, they say it's how much. Let me repeat the question. Sam invested how much? 50,000 for holiday with his family in how many years? 2 years' time. So please just do it. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to go through that. Please, like I said, please prepare your calculator and your pen. Please just do it. Just do it now. I'm giving you 2 minutes to go through this problem, because I'm not going to do it alone. Thank you very much. Just go through. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome. And then let us go through our solutions. Yes, some of you, I think you have been with us on Monday. And then thank you very much because you have already done these solutions. Let us go through the solutions now. Now, this is the formula. You have to be able to identify the formula, please. Be able to identify the formula and then substitute with correct formula. Now, the next one, this is how it goes. Now, we learned that our P, this one will be our principal amount, and it's already written in the decimal places. And then we've got number of terms, which is how many years? It's twice, 2 years. So this is how you're supposed to do it. I don't think it will be difficult in sentence. All I'm asking was only you write P is equals to how much? It's 50,000. And then I will be equal to 0.09. And then N is equal to 2 years. And then you just substitute from the correct formula. And then here will be our solution. You must get that solution. So most of you got it right. Congratulations and keep up the good work. Now let us go on. WLA invested 50,500 into a saving account. If the interest was compounded annually, calculate the annual interest rate that WLA received if she had 18,343 in her account after 4 years. Now, what we are being asked to calculate now, calculate what? The annual interest. Like I said, you are not always going to be asked to calculate our accumulative amount. Not always you'll be asked to calculate A. Sometimes you'll be asked to calculate P, which is the principal amount. You'll be asked to calculate interest rate or number of terms. Now, what they're asking us to calculate interest rate. So what are we looking for? Let us formulate our data now. WLA invest how much? 50,000, 10,500 into a saving account. All right. If the interest was compounded annually, calculate the annual interest rate that WLA received if she had 18,343 in her account after 4 years. So what is this now? We need to identify the difference between the two. So before we go to our solution, what is P? And then it's compounded annually. So you can use the formula, the same formula. What is our formula there? Now, what is our A? We have to identify what is our A firstly. And then we have to identify what is our principal. And then we've been asked to calculate this now. And the number of terms is given. Yes, number of terms is given as 4 years. So all we need to calculate now is I. So at the final, how much you've got? You've got 18,000. This one will be equivalent to 18. And this one will be, as a principal amount, it will be equivalent to 10,500 as a principal amount. And then we need to calculate I, and we're also being given number of terms. Then how do we do that? Listen, gents, let us proceed because I think you did this activity on Monday. I'm just helping those who complained that they were late, but we'll get there. So here to our solution, we use the same formula. We have identified the correct formula. Then we need to substitute correctly into a correct formula. That's what is important. And now, as I said, this one, our A is 18,343. Our principal amount is 10,500. Open the bracket, 1 plus I to the exponent 4. And then what is the next one? What do we need to do now? We are looking for I. What do we need to do now? In mathematics, when we multiply, we divide. So it means we need to divide. We need to divide both sides by 10,500. And then let's go on. We have divided both sides by 10,500. We divided 18,343 by 10,500. Then it's equivalent to 1,74695231. Then we are still looking for this now. Now we need to get rid of this. What do we do? You can multiply it by 1 over 4. You can multiply it by 1 over 4. It's 4. If I want to get rid of 4, I just multiply by 1 over 4. Inverse identity. And then, can we proceed now? Yes, let me erase that one. Let me erase my scrap note. That's it. To the exponent 4. And then we are left with 1 plus I. So, ladies and gents, yes, that's correct. If it's a square, we square root. That's the, and then if it's a square root, we square. So let us remove that cube root. Then we get 1,149 plus that. We are going to make I subtract the formula, ladies and gents. Let us go on again. And then our I is that. Remember, our I said our I is equals to what? It's R over 100. Please don't forget that. And then let us proceed. You just multiply it by 100 to make R subject of the formula now. And then how much you get? I is 14.97%. Okay, thank you very much. Or did you see that? Then our I is equals to 14.97%. Can we proceed now? I think that's what you did this one. So let us proceed. Inflation and population growth. Okay, inflation and population are good example of real life items that grow with compound interest. Inflation is general increase in prices of goods and services. You know that they cannot remain constant. And then bulletin amount, the increase is compounded. Yes, the increase is compounded because you got plus. A loaf of bread that currently costs 14 Rand 60 cents costs approximately 13 Rand 51 in 2018. So you're not going to proceed with that one a lot. This is what you have done to that one. Let us go on. And there's an example based on that. We can go on. Here are our solutions. That's what we have done. That here we are. A motor vehicle costs this amount if the rate of inflation is that 7.5% per annum, compounded what? Annually. For how long? For 10 years. So everything is given there. You just substitute and make a substitute the formula. And then here it will be our inflation population. And then let us proceed to the next one. If the population increased by this percentage from 2020 to 2021, and it is going to increase by the same percentage from 2021 to 2022, ladies and gentlemen, to proceed with the same thing. This is our solutions. I think this one is also a revision. Then this is how it will go. We just simplify that by calculating. Then foreign exchange, like I said, what should stick in your mind is either you multiply or you divide. So consider countries have different monetary system, currencies, you know all of them. And then $1 is going to 16 Rand 10 cents. You can look at the news. And then it's either you multiply or you divide. It means when I go to America, what they do, they divide. When Americans comes here, they multiply. So if you are from America, you come to South Africa, you get more. And if you are South Africa, you get there, they divide. You get less. So 1 Rand is going to how much? 0.065 US dollars. And then it's either you multiply or you divide. You cannot go spend more time on this one, ladies and gents. That's how I'll summarize that. And then here it is that usually here, you identify what is given. $1 is equivalent to 16 Rand 10 cents. And then if you've got 14.99 US dollar, how many rand in X? So US dollar under US dollar. Rand under rand. And then you know the law. You just cross multiply. You just cross multiply and then you get the solution. Here it's our solution. Like I said, it's either you multiply or you divide. And then here it's that in rand. You see you get more now. And then I'm not going to spend more time on this one, ladies and gents. That's what you've done. I'll just move straight. Foreign exchange, advantage of a strong currency, cheaper to import goods. Now we are talking now, we are no longer doing calculations now. Simpler depreciation, decay. Why do items like machinery, cars, computers, etc. lose weight? So please, due to tear and wear, becoming outdated after being damaged. That is why. And then you have to be able to identify. There are two types of depreciation. It's a linear depreciation, straight line method, and reducing balance depreciation. Listen, this one is a very, very important. This one. It's the most important one now. You need to know when you use a linear straight line method, which formula you must use. So let me give you the formula for this one. A linear for straight line. Please let me give you the formula for this one. That's it. It's the most important. How if there's a linear depreciation or straight line, please, what you stick in your mind is this formula. Please, please. And then let us look at the bulletin number 2, reducing balance depreciation. Now, reducing balance depreciation, still use the formula, please. I would like to write the formula here so that you might not forget it. Please don't forget this one. Please do not forget this one. You see, the variables remain the same. The variables remains the same. The variable remain the same. But now the difference is you have to be able to identify the correct formula. That is why here I decided to give you this formula. So please don't forget to use this one, because today, in fact, today's lesson, we need to concentrate about this one. A linear depreciation. And now, before we go to linear depreciation, what you need to understand now, if they speak about depreciation, it's the same if reducing or minus or subtract. They are still the same. So please don't forget, I'm not going to erase this formula because I'm going to give you the activity now. Because I'm not going to give you the repeated activity. This one is today's lesson. I think I'm done with introduction of Monday. For those who are absent, now you are fine. Now let us proceed. Simpler depreciation decay. Now consider a car worth 400,000. If the car depreciates at the rate of 5% per annum on a linear depreciation. Consider a car worth 400,000 if the car depreciates at a rate of 5% per annum on a linear depreciation. Now, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you only 1 minute to do what to do now. You just identify, you formulate your data. What is your P? What is your I? And number of terms. I'm going to give you 1 minute to go through this statement. Consider a car worth is how much? 400,000 if the car depreciates at the rate of 5% per annum on a linear depreciation. So just formulate your data. Don't solve it. Just formulate your data. What is your P? What is your D? So I'm just going to give you 1 minute to go through that one. Please just do it. Oh, thank you very much and welcome back. I think this one is also good for both learners who are also doing mathematical literacy etc. The solution is always there after first year. You just dip 5% of this. Then it will be how much? Almost 20,000. How do we do that? Let us look at this amount now. It's 400,000. Then if we need 10%, you just erase this one. You just move once here. Then it's 10%. So it means 10% of this will be equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4, 40,000. It's 10%. So they are looking for 5%. We just divide it by 2 because 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it will give us how much? 20. So that is why here 4,000 is also being reduced by 20,000. I think also it's simple for everyone. And then let us go on. Now simpler depreciation decay. Yeah. Now we are on the other one. Let us go through that. Second year. Here it goes. Second year it goes. And then third year. It's always decreasing by the same amount. Fourth year. And then etc. Fifth year. Yes. It will be 300,000 after fifth year. And then let us go. Then simpler depreciation, decay. Then we've got the year and we've got the book value. 0 equivalent to 400,000. First year it was how much? Second year it's a linear straight. And then here we make a dot. First year, that's it. It depreciate because it's going down. It's going down. Then third year, you see then our dot are going down and not going up. And then the third year, here it is. Fourth year. And then fifth year. So that's how, let us join the point. There, to join the point, you see the graph is going down. The graph is going down. And then this one is our table. And then this one, draw our graph. And then you must able to number of years here. There is a value of, it's a book value of the car. And then because depreciation, it can be a car, it can be anything, moving vehicles. And then here it is. So the car loses value by the same amount every year. That's what we learned. How much amount? I think it was 20,000 rand. Then the graph of simpler decay, it's a linear. It's a linear, it means straight. And then with the value of the car even ever get to 0? Oh, I don't know, but I don't think so. But it does. And then simpler decay formula. Let us look at this one. Simpler decay formula, please. This one is important. And then let us, A remains the same. You'll see. It's a book value or scrap value. I like this one. I like this one. Please. It's a scrap value. When they speak of scrap value, please, what should stick in your mind is this one. And then there's the other one. It's a present value. The principal amount. It's the principal amount. Remain the same. You can tell. Is depreciation rate. Time period. The variable remain the same. The variable remain the same. Yes. Can we proceed now? So please don't forget this one. It's a book's or scrap value. We use this formula. You may be required to calculate also. You may be required to calculate A, P, I, and N. You are not going to be asked always to calculate a scrap value. Please. And then let us go on. Yeah, I like this example now. I like this one. Yes. Bususiwa is an entrepreneur. She bought a lathe machine worth 9,000 rand. The machine is expected to depreciate at 6% per annum on a straight line method. Bususiwa would like to replace this machine after 10 years when it reaches its lifespan. Calculate the scrap value of this machine after 10 years. I like this activity. Now we are in same boat now. This is what we are supposed to do today. So, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. You WhatsApp 064 748 8913. You WhatsApp your solution. Firstly, you start with your data. What is P? What is I? And then you solve it. And then after solving it, please WhatsApp your solution again to 064 748 8913. So I'll give you approximately 2 minutes to go through this one. Please just do it. Just do it. Like I ask, bring your calculator and your pen. Just practice this one. Just do it so that when you come back, we can see how best you did. Remember, I will mention your name. Don't forget to mention this, the school name. Where are you from? Which school? And who are you? And then you just SMS your solution, and then we discuss your solution together. Please just do it. I'm just going to give you, let me be okay now. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that. 1 minute is for your data, 1 minute to solve. Thank you very much. Just do it, please. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome. So, firstly, I would like to thank learners from Culture High School and from ST Methodus. You came up with correct solutions. Thank you very much. You're welcome. We really appreciate your contribution. So just do it. Thank you very much. We would like to ready to thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Now, I hope you also, learners from Culture High School, you're also welcome again to a second solution. Here we had. Now, firstly, what we need to do now, we have to identify this one. We've got the scrap value, so that we can able to identify the correct formula. Now, Busiwa is an entrepreneur. She bought a lathe machine of much? The machine worth 9,000 rand. The machine expected to depreciate at what percentages? 6% per annum. It means the machine goes down, depreciates. Where on a straight line method, I've given you those two formula, and I'll ask you to identify them. Please take note of them. And then, Busiwa would like to replace this machine after 10 years. After 10 years. When it reaches its lifespan. Now, calculate the scrap value of this machine after 10 years. So some of you, I've given you 2 minutes to go through this one. The first, I ask you to formulate your data. And then the second minute is to solve the problem. Now let us go through. So it's still the same. We have to calculate this scrap value. Then how do you calculate the scrap value? Thank you. We have to identify the formula now. Please, like I said, this one, I've also underlined it. I told you it also implies to a scrap value. And then this one is our linear. Please, it's our linear depreciation or straight line. Then can we go through that? Let me erase my note. Let me erase them because they might confuse you. The next one, you should supposed to have this one. So when I was asking you to formulate your data, I was referring to you that you write your PS 9000, you write your IS 0,06, and then you write your NS10. That's what I was asking you to do. I asked you to do this one only for a minute. And then the next one, what you need to do, you need to identify your correct formula. After identify your correct formula, what you do, you substitute from the correct formula. Then this one is the correct formula. Here it is. You've substituted correctly. You get a mark for this. And then you get a mark for that. And then let me erase that again. Because your solution, I can see some of you, I was not a little bit fast. I'll try to move a little bit slowly now. So I think you are still with me. Here it is. Let me erase my data. I've given you a 1 minute to do this one. You have done that. And then number 2, you have to be able to identify your correct formula and substitute it there. And then number 3, here it is your solution now. It's your solution, this one. You get a mark for that, and then you get a mark for that. So calculate the scrap value of this machine after 10 years. The scrap value will be equivalent to 3,600. Now, if you got 3,600, applause. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. You did quite well. Number 1. But if you did not get 3,600, thank you for practicing. In mathematics, we learn by doing mistakes. Mistakes are there, we correct them. But it's better to practice so that you can be able to identify your challenges. So if you did not get 3,600, it's no problem, but at least now we've got a solution. It's supposed to be 3,600. Now keep up the good work, and then can we move on again now? Or let us move on again. Equipment depreciate by the percentage of the previous value. Reducing balance depreciation, you need to know that one. Listen, just this one is giving more learners challenges. It's a little bit challenge finance because you need to read. So when you encounter any problem based on finance, please just give yourself time to read and underline all those things. The most important things, because sometimes the mistakes is that you substitute from the wrong formula. So please, it's very important to identify the correct formula. And don't forget, whenever you write any test or exam, because you're on grade 10 or grade 11, formula sheet must be given to you. Ask your maths teacher, please, we need formula sheet. You must get them, so that most of you, the problem is that you only use formula sheet when you write grade 12. And then you are not familiar to that. So familiarize yourself with formula sheet from grade 10 and 11. So formula sheet will be given. These formula are there at the back. Use them correctly, please. Use them correctly, and then able to formulate your data correctly and substitute to the correct formula. That's the most important thing about the finance. And then you must know the difference between depreciation, the scrap, reducing balance. And then let us go on. Here we have been asked to consider a car worth 400,000 if the car depreciated at the rate of 5% per annum on a reducing balance depreciation. So the word depreciation, like I said, what should stick in your mind is minus. And then first year, this one is at least is good. Now, what we have there, we've got 400,000. Like you said it will be how much? Almost 20,000. 20,000, 5% of that. Then, mathematical literacy, you're also welcome to this problem. You can do it. And then that it will go. I think it's also so reducing balance depreciation. Second year. Third year, reducing balance depreciation. And then the fourth year, the fifth year. Did I move faster this one? I don't think I did move faster. Okay, let's go on now. Let us look at the formula and the graph. Remember, let us point from 0, that. So first year, it was 380. That is why I try to move a little bit faster, because there is a table that represents those solutions. And then, second year is 380. Second year is 361. Third year, 342. Do you see that the difference between that? We'll go through that. The fourth year is 325. And the fifth year is 309,512 and 38. And then let us go on. Here is our graph. Now, when you join our point, there is our graph. Simpler depreciation. Can you go on now? Here is our graph now. You see this one, it's a linear depreciation. Let's just check these two graphs. This one, it's a linear. So linear, it means it goes down by the same amount. It was 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. But this one, reducing balance depreciation, is not constant. Our different year, it was constant here. It's constant. Here is not constant. Because we use, this one we use linear and then compound. This one is for compound. This is how we interpret both of them. This one is a point of intersection. Point of intersection, what should stick in your mind? It's equal sign. Whether you solve simultaneous, whatever problem, when they talk about point of intersection, it means equal. So they were equal here because the value of this cow is the same. So it's equal there, it's also equals there. This one goes up, this one goes down. So it means this one is increasing. Here, this one is decreasing. This one here is increasing. This one here is decreasing. So can you go on now? Now, reducing balance depreciation formula. Now, you see this one. This one. We had something like this now. A is equals to P into 1 plus I to the exponent. You see that the difference between the two. This one we speak of depreciation because we've got minus, negative sign. Depreciate, minus, subtract. I think, you know, those who are doing a business, and this one we add, appreciate, plus. So look at the two different. So here, reducing balance depreciation formula, the word depreciation tells you what to do. So it means it tells us about this formula now. So you always must be check. You must check, please. So it means it will decrease now. Now let me erase this one because I was just reminding you of this. Yes. I need to move a little bit slow. Remember, our A, like I said, our variables remains the same. Please, our variables remains the same. So it will be a scrap of book value. We did that one. And then the next one, it's the present value, the principal. It's also called the principal. But I like the author here. He just made things simpler for us. And then the next one, it's I, stand for what? Interest rate. Still depreciation rate because now we speak of the depreciation. I care if it's interest, it means to be more. So this one, he makes specifically depreciation rate. Why is a depreciation rate? Because we've got minus there. And then the next one remains the same. It's only time period. Please, I know mathematicians, I'm also a mathematician. Let us learn to read, especially finance. Let us make it as easy as possible. This is our formula. And then let us check. Same procedure, we might be asked to solve either P, the present value, and then when we are asked to prove the present value, this one will be given. This one will be given. If you have been asked to solve number, time period, this one will be given. I think you have done the example of this one, where we have been asked to find a rate. Okay, let me erase that. I'm trying to move as slowly as I can. The most important thing is your understanding. You need to understand this. This is depreciation. So please, I repeat, you might be asked to solve one of them. Don't say always you need to calculate the scrap value. No, not always. So I think simpler depreciation will have the same problem, the same example with the first one. Busisiwe now is an entrepreneur. She bought a lathe machine worth 9,000. The machine is expected to depreciate at 6% per annum. Now, it's what? On a reducing balance. Please, you must be able to identify that. This one will help you to identify the correct formula. Please. Reducing balance. Busisiwe would like to replace this machine after 10 years. When it reaches its lifespan, calculate the scrap value of this machine after 10 years. Busisiwe is an entrepreneur. She bought a lathe machine worth 9,000. The machine is expected to depreciate at 6% per annum. The problems are still the same. The problem is still the same. But the difference is only the questions. Now, ladies and gents, I'm also going to give you also 2 minutes to solve this one. Please just do it. Like I said, prepare your pen and your calculator next to you. Just prepare them, and then you write the name of your school, and then you just prepare it, just calculate it. I'm going to give you also 2 minutes. I'll be fair. 1 minute is you formulate your data. 1 minute, you substitute. Please substitute into a correct formula, and then you give a solution. Please just do it. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to do that. We are doing together. We're going to solve this one together. Let's just ride this train together, please, so that next year things will just go smooth. Thank you very much. I'm giving you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Thank you. Just go on. Like I said, prepare your calculator and a pen. Just do it. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome back again. Before we start with the solution, I would like to really appreciate this learners from this school. Buhle Busile, you did quite well from Buhle Busile School, High School, and Lotus Gardens High School. You gave us the very correct solution. Sitesin Jiwe, thank you very much. And we've got also War School Hosteling. And then the last one is Sakisizwe Secondary School. You did quite well for the solution. We really appreciate those ones. Keep up the good work. Let us applause. Thank you very much. And I also think you also done quite well from this solution again. So let us check it, this one again. I think you have done it now, like you've done it the first one. Let us go through that. So Busisiwe is an entrepreneur. She bought a lathe machine worth 9,000. The machine is expected to depreciate at how many percent? 6% when per annum. On a reducing balance method, Busisiwe would like to replace this machine after 10 years when it reaches its lifespan. Now, calculate the scrap value. I like this. Calculate the scrap value of this machine after 10 years. Now, I think the first minute you're supposed to identify what is N, which is 10, what is I, which is equivalent to 0.6. This is an example that I was asking, I was expecting you to do. On K, let me raise this one because it might spoil our solution. The next one, here it is now. You have to identify. Okay. You have to identify the correct formula. Now, I think you did identify the correct formula. So it's A, this one. Please, you must be able to identify that. And then let me remind you, I reminded you this one is also equivalent to the scrap value. So let me erase it again so that I cannot spoil our solution. Thank you very much for identifying the correct formula. Now can we proceed? You have formulated your data and then the correct formula. Then here we go. We substitute now. We substitute from the correct formula. How much is our P? It implies this one. How much is I? It implies to that. Number of terms for 10 years. You see now it becomes easy if you are able to identify the correct formula, and then to formulate your data, I don't think it's a problem. But the challenge is when you have to substitute from the correct formula. So you have to be able to identify those two formulae, please. And then, can you go through the solution now? You have used your calculator. You press exactly as it is. And then it will give you solution. Then here it goes. So do you see now what we have there? You've got 4,847,536,027. What did I say when we talk about money? Because it's rent. Always when we talk about money or when we calculate money, leave your answer into 2 decimal places. Please just do it. Please, I'll try to be slowly. I was just moving a little bit faster because it was a little bit revision. But now, please, let me move slowly. When we calculate money, please leave your answer into 2 decimal places. So now we check here. We've got 536,020. Then we have to consider this one now. If here is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then the answer will be 4,847,53 because after 3 it number less than 5. If number, but now we've got number greater than 5. So it means you're going to remove this one and shift it to this one to make it 54. So it means our final answer will be 4,847,54. Why? Because here it's a number, value more than 5. Then we just add 1 there. So to make it a correct answer. So our correct solution will be 4,847,54. Ladies and gents, please, sometimes you get penalized if you leave your answer like this one. Because you'll be told, whether you're told or not, but in case of money, please, money, currency, leave your answer into 2 decimal places. Unless otherwise stated. But when you speak of money, please, leave your answer into decimal places. So I hope you all got it correct. We'll go through your solutions now because I've asked you to WhatsApp our number on 064 748 8913 so that we can acknowledge your solutions. Like you've acknowledged the solution from these different types of schools. Please just do it because we are riding this train together. Now let us move on. I would like to thank you very much, ladies and gents, for this work. All I need to do now, let us check this one now. The most important thing here, let me just try to summarize this. With the formula here, which is A is equals to P1 minus I to the exponent n. And then you also got the formula, which is A is equals to P, open the bracket, 1 minus IN. So what does this one implies? It's also simpler decay. Simpler decay or what? Or straight line. Straight line method. Why is it a straight line? Do you see the linear? It's a straight line, this one. It means whatever different is constant. It means our different is always constant. Okay. It means our different is constant. It was 20,000. Let's say it's the car worth 400,000. Depreciate by 20, 20, 20, 20. So it's 400,000, 380, 300, etc., 320, etc. So it means it's constant. But when it comes to this one, you can see that one. Also, this one is also called the scrap value. The scrap value. You must be able to identify the two. So it's also called the reducing. This one is the reducing. Yeah, reducing. Thank you very much. Here it is, reducing balance method. I like it. You will be told. You will always be told depreciate at 6% per annum on reducing balance method. The first one, it was what? Simpler decay. 6% per annum on a simpler decay or a straight line. So you must be able to use the two. We are just concentrating about the two formulae today. So please, you must be able to identify this one, please, and that one. So this one, it always give us a straight. This one will give us a straight. If I have to draw this one here, it will just give us a straight. And then let's speak about this one. Let me change the color of this pen. And then let us look at this one. Let me choose. It's the same. Oh, I'm almost similar. The other one was the one that goes like this. Now, this one. Because here, the different is not constant. The different is not constant. But here, that's how you will be able to identify them. Here, the different is not constant. It means it's compounded, this one. It's compounded. It's reducing. So reducing balance, that's what it means. Please don't forget. So you have to be able, the most important thing about this lesson, you need to be able to identify these two formulae. This one. Please, you need to able to identify those ones. So I think you can see clearly now. It was today's lesson. Please don't forget this one. Yes, don't forget this one. This one, I repeat, it will be linear. It means the different is common. The different is common. And this one, the different is not common. Please just do it. Ladies and gents, I hope you will never disappoint me when it comes to a second activity in finance. Thank you very much. And then you are welcome to this. I'll give you 5 minutes break now, just to go through those ones. 5 minutes good. Give yourself time. Just go through them. They are the same, but different questions. Just underline those different questions. And I'll give you 5 minutes break to go through it. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome back. I would like to acknowledge this school. Keep up the good work. Number one. Hop, 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 hop. CJ Jiwe High School, Willow Ridge, and Impumelelo Secondary School, S2 Matthews, Thomas Mufulo. Thank you very much for watching and learning. I hope you are learning very smart, not in hard way. I'll try to make these things simpler because you are still learning. And thank you for watching again. Welcome back again. From Thomas Mufulo. And then we've got other one, Landulwazi. Thank you very much. Learners from Landulwazi. And the other one, War School, Blosspark. And then you had a challenge about example number 7, in which I will go through it now. So thank you very much, learners from those schools. You're welcome and keep up the good work. We really appreciate your input on this channel. So now let us go through example 7 as you requested. So now, for this example number 7, I think the challenge here is simplification. The challenge here is simplification. So, but everything is still the same. You'll be awarded a mark for substituting in the correct formula. And then the most important, you have to formulate your data. Now let us go through this question again. Jabulile invested 10,500 into a saving account. This is what Jabulile invested. Let me check. Let me use this one. Let me see this one. Let's see. She invested this amount of money, 10,500, into a saving account. If the interest was compounded, now I like this one. It's compounded what? Underline this one. Compounded annually. So things like monthly, etc., you learn them when you do grade 12, the relationship between I and N, when it's monthly or when it's compounded quarterly, etc., in terms of term. This one is straightforward annually. Calculate the annual interest rate that Jabulile received if she had this amount. At the end, you've got this one. At the end, you've got that amount in her account after how long? After 4 years. And after 4 years, Jabulile, she've got this amount in her account. At the beginning, she invested how much? This one. So what did I say? I asked you first, you need to write this one. What is 10,500? What is 10,500? That's what I've asked you to do. So it means you write your P. It's equals to 10,500. And then what else? What is your A? Remember, P stands for the principal amount, original amount. The original Lorraine, she had 10,500. Now, the final amount is this one, 18,343. For how long? Stand for N, for 4 years. Now, what we've been asked to calculate the annual interest. Now we've been asked to calculate this one. That's what we've been asked to do. Like I said, you're not always going to calculate this. You can also reverse that. You can reverse that. If we have calculated this, you can calculate accumulated amount. If you have calculated this one, you can find the principal having this 3. We can find number of terms having this 3. So this what you need to do when you formulate your data. Let me erase this one. So all you need to do, you need to have this thing before you solve this problem. Good. And then let us go through the solution. That's it. That's it. Compounded annually. If the interest, we talk about the interest. So it means more, not depreciation, interest. How much interest you make. So this one will tell you the story now. Compounded. Now, the correct formula, it has been identified for the correct problem. Now, we need to substitute from the correct formula. Now, we have learned that what is our P? It's equivalent to that. What is our N? It's 4. What is our A? It's 18,348. And then it was also P. P is how much? 10,500, the principal amount. Number of terms is 4 years. So what are we looking for now? We are looking for this I. We are looking for the I. You're not, like I said, I repeat, you're not always going to solve this debt. You might be asked to solve anyone. You can be asked to solve a number of times, whatever. So what we need to solve now, we need to solve I. So I will help you with the substitution, no problem. You still got a lot of time to solve your debt. And then the next one, we substituted from the correct formula. Here it's our A, which is accumulated amount after 4 years. Here it's our principal amount, the original amount. And then for how long? For 4. So what did we do now? Here we've got 18,343. It equals to 10,500 into 1 plus I to the exponent n. We divided both sides by 10,500. We divide both sides by 10,500. We divide both sides by 10,500. Just do it on your calculator. Just do it on your calculator, please. Just do it on your calculator. Just divide the whole expression by 10,500. And then you must get this. You must get this. 1 comma. So it means 18,343 divided by 10,500. It will give you this now. Now the challenge is one now. How do we get rid of this? How do we get rid of this? Let me remind you a little bit about the algebraical solution. If you've got x squared, it's equals to x squared, it's equals to 4. We need to solve for x. Remember, you square root. Then you get x is equals to plus or minus 2. Now, if you've got x cubed, it's equals to, I'm not going to use 9 whatever. Let me use it's equals to the same value 4. This. We just keep root like this one. Just keep root. So it's gonna be x is equals to the cube root of 4. 4 it can stand for in. Now here what do we have? We've got something like this. X to the exponent 4 it's equals to 1 comma. Let me put it 2.75. We've got something like that. So we need to get rid of this. We do the same thing. We do the same thing. It's 4. Remember your set. It's 4 here. That's what you do. Remember your set, please. It's 4. If I write this thing in the exponential form, it's equals to 4 over 4. Always this one becomes our denominator. All right, let me raise it again because I think now you are with me. I think that was the challenge here. That was the challenge here. So we need to remove this one. We need to get rid of this 4. We do exactly the same. We do exactly the same. We get this. It's 4 here. We get this. It should be 4 here. Please. Please, this one is algebraic challenge. So make use of this one. You must understand that squaring both sides. Let me remind you of the squaring both sides. Do you still remember when you've got x? Let me use the black one. Okay, let us go on. Let us go on. And then you've got this one. And then the next one. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That one. So I've explained how do we get this one. Remember, we are looking for I. So all we need to do now is to get the problem and go on. Now we are looking for this I. Let us go on. You've got this one. And then the next one, what do we have? You've got this now. So in your calculator, you must get this one. Remember, we're looking for I. So what we need to transpose I one that side. So it will be 1,149,662,38 minus 1. Subtract 1. So it will give us how much? It must give us 0 here. It must give us 0. It must give us 0,149, etc. And then how much will be our I? Our I will be 0,149, etc. Then what do you do? Just multiply by 100. Let us make it easy now. Just multiply it by 100. Multiply it by 100, you get this solution. Therefore, our I becomes 14.97%, which is equivalent to I. I think I made it clear, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining us. And then I would like to thank you for watching this lesson. Please remember to sanitize, wear your mask, maintain social distance, and keep safe. See you next time, and bye, and have a nice day. I think you also enjoyed that. Number 1, sharp, sharp.